In the quiet town of Eldenwood, a relic of unspeakable power was unearthed by a curious archaeologist. Unbeknownst to them, their discovery awakened a malevolent demon that had been imprisoned for centuries. The demon, hungry for revenge, set its sights on Eldenwood, ready to unleash chaos and despair upon the town. As the demon's influence spread, the town's residents began to hear sinister whispers in the wind. Shadows danced in the corners of their vision, and a sense of dread settled over Eldenwood. People started to go missing, their disappearances shrouded in mystery. The town's once cheerful atmosphere was replaced by an air of unease. A mysterious stranger arrived in Eldenwood, their eyes filled with ancient knowledge and a darkness that seemed to mirror the demon's own. The townsfolk, desperate for help, turned to the stranger, unaware of the secrets they carried. The stranger offered to confront the demon, but their true intentions remained veiled in shadows. The demon, reveling in the fear it had instilled, approached vulnerable souls in their dreams. It offered them power, wealth, and unimaginable desires in exchange for their loyalty. Those who succumbed to the demon's temptations became its servants, spreading chaos and furthering its malevolent agenda. A group of brave individuals, aware of the growing darkness, sought ancient texts and rituals to protect Eldenwood. They discovered a powerful warding spell that could potentially banish the demon back to the abyss from whence it came. The group, fueled by determination and desperation, prepared to cast the spell and save their town. On the night of the blood moon, when the veil between worlds was at its thinnest, the group performed the protective warding ritual. The air crackled with dark energy as they chanted incantations, creating a barrier of light that enveloped Eldenwood. For a moment, it seemed like they had succeeded, but the demon's laughter echoed through the night, indicating that the battle was far from over. Enraged by the attempted warding, the demon unleashed its full fury upon Eldenwood. Buildings crumbled, and the very ground shook as the demon's demonic minions wreaked havoc. The town's defenders fought valiantly, but they were outnumbered and outmatched. Desperation filled the air as Eldenwood teetered on the brink of destruction. In a desperate attempt to save their town, the group of defenders researched an ancient ritual that required a sacrificial offering. One among them would have to sacrifice themselves to fuel the ritual's power. The weight of the decision hung heavy on their hearts as they chose a willing volunteer, their bravery shining through their tear-filled eyes. With a heavy heart, the chosen hero embraced their fate. They stood in the center of the ritual circle, their eyes reflecting a mixture of fear and determination. The group chanted the incantations, channeling the hero's sacrifice into the ritual. The hero's body glowed with ethereal light before dissipating into the very essence of the spell, empowering it with unparalleled strength. Empowered by the hero's sacrifice, the protective warding spell reached its peak. A blinding light enveloped Eldenwood, forcing the demon and its minions to retreat. Their roars of fury echoed through the night as they were banished back to the depths of the abyss. Eldenwood was saved, but the cost of victory weighed heavily on the town's heart. Eldenwood mourned the loss of their hero, their sacrifice forever etched into the town's history. The hero's name became a symbol of bravery and selflessness, whispered by parents to their children as a reminder of the town's resilience. The group of defenders, now scared by the battle, vowed to protect Eldenwood from any future threats, their bond strengthened by their shared loss. Meanwhile, in the depths of the abyss, the demon seethed with anger and humiliation. It vowed vengeance upon Eldenwood, its hatred burning brighter than ever. The demon began plotting its return, seeking allies among the most malevolent creatures in the supernatural realm. Its eyes glowed with unholy fervor as it devised a plan to unleash a terror unlike anything Eldenwood had ever seen. The demon forged alliances with dark witches, vengeful spirits, and monstrous creatures that lurked in the shadows. Together, they concocted a scheme to weaken Eldenwood's defenses and create chaos within the town. The demon's newfound allies, drawn to its promise of power, eagerly joined the unholy alliance, their collective malevolence pooling into a force that would soon descend upon Eldenwood. The Demons' Alliance located cursed artifacts scattered throughout the world, each containing a fraction of the demon's essence. These artifacts, when brought together, would amplify the demon's power and weaken the protective wards around Eldenwood. The Alliance embarked on a sinister quest, stealing the artifacts from their guardians and preparing for the ritual that would herald the demon's return. As the cursed artifacts were brought together, Eldenwood's protective wards began to weaken. Cracks formed in the once impenetrable barrier, allowing dark energies to seep into the town. Residents reported unsettling nightmares, and the sinister whispers returned, carrying promises of doom. Eldenwood's defenders sensed the growing threat and prepared for the battle that loomed on the horizon. Eldenwood's defenders, aware of the weakening wards, stood vigilant against the encroaching darkness. They patrolled the town's borders, their eyes scanning the shadows for any sign of the demon's return. The town's residents, sensing the impending danger, rallied behind their protectors, determined to face the demon and its alliance head-on. On the night of dread, when the stars aligned in an ominous pattern, the Demons' Alliance launched their assault. Dark creatures swarmed Eldenwood, their eyes ablaze with unholy fervor. The town's defenders fought valiantly, but they were outnumbered and overwhelmed. Eldenwood's streets became a battleground, echoing with the clash of steel and the roars of supernatural beasts. In the heart of Eldenwood, the Demons' Alliance began the ritual to fully unleash the demon's essence. The cursed artifacts glowed with malevolent energy as the Alliance chanted ancient incantations. The town's defenders, their spirits unbroken, launched a daring raid to disrupt the ritual. A fierce battle ensued, with the fate of Eldenwood hanging in the balance. Amidst the chaos, a member of the Demons' Alliance grew disillusioned with their malevolent cause. Seeing the destruction wrought upon Eldenwood, they turned against their former allies, aiding the town's defenders in their fight. Their betrayal tipped the scales, allowing Eldenwood's defenders to gain the upper hand and disrupt the ritual just in time. With the ritual disrupted, the demon's essence recoiled, its power diminished. The Alliance, now weakened and demoralized, retreated into the shadows, vowing to regroup and seek revenge another day. Eldenwood's defenders, although victorious, knew that the demon's thirst for vengeance had not been quenched. The town remained on high alert, preparing for the inevitable return of their malevolent foe. Amidst the aftermath of the battle, Eldenwood's elders uncovered an ancient prophecy foretelling the demon's return. The prophecy spoke of a chosen one, destined to wield a legendary artifact, the Sword of Lumina, that could banish the demon once and for all. Eldenwood's residents, their hope rekindled by the prophecy, searched for the chosen one, believing that their salvation lay in finding this fabled hero. A young villager named Eerie, marked by a mysterious birthmark, discovered her connection to the Sword of Lumina. As the town learned of her destiny, Eerie's life changed forever. She underwent rigorous training, honing her combat skills and mastering ancient incantations. Eldenwood's defenders became her mentors, guiding her toward the momentous battle that awaited. Eerie embarked on a quest to find the Sword of Lumina, a legendary weapon said to be forged from the essence of pure light. Her journey led her to treacherous terrains, ancient temples, and forgotten tombs. Along the way, she faced trials that tested her courage and resolve, each challenge bringing her one step closer to claiming the sword and fulfilling her destiny. At the heart of the Forbidden Forest, Eerie encountered the Shadowed Guardian, a mysterious entity guarding the Sword of Lumina. The Guardian tested Eerie's worthiness, questioning her motives and probing her heart. Eerie, fueled by her determination to protect Eldenwood, proved her mettle, earning the Guardian's respect and the right to wield the Sword of Lumina. With the Sword of Lumina in hand, Eerie returned to Eldenwood, her arrival heralded by a renewed sense of hope. Eldenwood's defenders rallied behind her, rekindling their alliance and preparing for the final battle against the demon. The town, once shrouded in fear, now buzzed with anticipation, its residents ready to face the looming threat head-on. The demon, sensing the sword of luminous presence, grew impatient. It hatched a daring plan to ascend to a new form, one that would grant it unimaginable power and render it invincible against mortal weapons. Eldenwood's defenders, aware of the demon's plot, braced themselves for a battle that would test their strength, wits, and unity like never before. In a cataclysmic battle, Eldenwood's defenders confronted the demon as it underwent its ascension ritual. Dark energies crackled through the air as the demon transformed, its malevolent laughter echoing through the battlefield. Eerie, wielding the Sword of Lumina, led the charge, her determination unwavering in the face of the demon's newfound might. The Sword of Lumina glowed with a brilliant light, its essence counteracting the demon's darkness. Eerie channeled the sword's power, striking with precision and ferocity. Eldenwood's defenders fought alongside her, their unity and bravery pushing back against the demon's onslaught. The battle raged, the clash of weapons and magic echoing through the forest. In a desperate gambit, the demon attempted to merge its essence with Eldenwood itself, seeking to corrupt the very land the town stood upon. Eerie, sensing the impending disaster, channeled the Sword of Luminous power in a blinding strike, disrupting the fusion ritual. The forest quaked, the ground trembled, and for a moment, it seemed like Eldenwood and the demon were locked in a battle for the town's very soul. Eldenwood, a town united in purpose, sacrificed its very essence to repel the demon's corruption. The trees glowed with ethereal light, and the land itself fought back against the demon's malevolence. Eerie, fueled by the town's sacrifice, launched a final devastating attack. The Sword of Lumina pierced the demon's heart, banishing it with a blinding explosion of light. With the demon banished and the sacrifice of Eldenwood's essence, the town stood on the brink of renewal. The corrupted land healed, flowers bloomed, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of life. Eldenwood's defenders, although mourning the sacrifice, felt a profound sense of pride and gratitude. The town had faced its greatest challenge and emerged victorious. Eerie, hailed as a heroine, became Eldenwood's guardian. She vowed to protect the town, ensuring that its newfound peace endured. The Sword of Lumina, now a symbol of hope and bravery, was placed in Eldenwood's center, a reminder of the town's resilience. Eerie's story echoed through the generations, inspiring future defenders and reminding them of the power of unity and courage. However, remnants of the demon's essence still lingered, hidden in the shadows. Eldenwood's defenders, ever vigilant, hunted down these cursed remnants, ensuring that the demon's influence would never seep back into their town. Their battles were quieter, but no less fierce, as they protected Eldenwood from the remnants' malevolent schemes. Years later, an unexpected visitor arrived in Eldenwood, a scholar well-versed in demonology. Intrigued by the town's history, the scholar sought to understand the events that had transpired. Eldenwood's residents welcomed them, sharing their tales of bravery and sacrifice. Unbeknownst to the town, the scholar harbored a secret, a personal vendetta against demons, their family having been victims of a similar malevolence. The scholar, now armed with knowledge from Eldenwood's history, embarked on a quest to hunt down other demons and protect vulnerable towns from similar fates. They traveled far and wide, their expertise and determination making them a formidable foe against the supernatural. Eldenwood's legacy lived on through the scholar's actions, ensuring that the town's sacrifice was never forgotten. Decades passed, and Eldenwood remained a beacon of peace. However, whispers of the demon's return spread through the supernatural realm. The demon, its essence slowly reforming, plotted its revenge against the town that had banished it. Eldenwood's protectors, now seasoned and wise, sensed the growing darkness and prepared for the inevitable confrontation. The demon, learning from its past failures, devised a new plan. It sought forbidden knowledge, uncovering a ritual that would grant it unparalleled power. With newfound cunning, the demon enacted the ritual, ascending to a form even more terrifying than before. Its eyes glowed with unholy fervor as it set its sights on Eldenwood, ready to exact its vengeance. Under the shadow of an eldritch eclipse, a rare celestial event that amplified supernatural energies, the demon launched its assault on Eldenwood. Dark clouds blanketed the sky, and the air crackled with malevolent energy. Eldenwood's defenders, recognizing the significance of the eclipse, prepared for a battle that would test their very limits. Eldenwood's protectors, aware of the eclipse's influence on the demon's power, erected a powerful enchanted barrier around the town. The barrier glowed with ancient runes, fueled by the town's collective determination to protect their home. As the demon's forces clashed against the barrier, a fierce battle ensued, the barrier holding firm against the onslaught. Amidst the chaos, a young heir to Eldenwood's lineage, marked by a unique birthright, emerged as the town's new hope. Their eyes held the wisdom of their ancestors, and their heart beat with unwavering determination. The town's protectors recognized the heir's potential, guiding them in the ways of combat and magic. The heir embraced their destiny, ready to face the demon and safeguard Eldenwood's future. The town's protectors, guided by ancient prophecies, sought 3 powerful relics scattered across the realm. These relics, infused with the essence of Eldenwood's history, held the key to combating the demon's ascended form. The protectors embarked on a perilous quest, facing traps, riddles, and malevolent guardians to retrieve the relics and empower the heir for the final battle. With the relics in hand, Eldenwood's protectors performed the ritual of empowerment. The relics glowed with ethereal light, channeling the town's essence into the chosen heir. The heir's abilities expanded, their connection to Eldenwood deepening, as they embraced the collective strength of their ancestors. Armed with newfound power, the heir prepared to face the demon in a battle that would determine the town's fate. As the eclipse reached its zenith, the demon launched a direct assault on Eldenwood's heart, the ancient tree at the town's center, which held the essence of the town's magic. The heir, their senses honed by the relic's power, sensed the demon's malevolence and rushed to defend the tree. The battle that ensued was fierce, the very ground trembling beneath the clash of titanic forces. In a heartbreaking moment of desperation, the heir made the ultimate sacrifice to protect Eldenwood's heart. They channeled the relic's power, merging their essence with the ancient tree. The sacrifice infused the tree with unparalleled strength, creating a barrier of pure magic that repelled the demon's assault. The heir's sacrifice, although tragic, ensured that Eldenwood's heart remained unscathed. Empowered by the sacrifice, the heir faced the demon in a final cataclysmic battle. Eldenwood's protectors fought alongside them, their skills honed by years of training and their spirits unyielding in the face of adversity. The demon, now at the peak of its power, unleashed devastating attacks, but the heir and their allies countered with unmatched determination and unity. In a blinding surge of magic, the heir struck the demon with the combined might of Eldenwood's protectors and the town's ancient relics. The eclipse shattered, its eldritch energies dissipating into the void. The demon's roars of fury echoed through the battlefield as it disintegrated into ash, its malevolent presence banished once and for all. With the demon's defeat, Eldenwood stood victorious once more. The enchanted barrier dissipated, and the eldritch eclipse's effects faded from the sky. The town's protectors, although scared by the battle, celebrated their hard-earned triumph. Eldenwood's heart pulsed with renewed magic, its essence intertwined with the heir's sacrifice, ensuring that the town would thrive for generations to come. The heir, although mourned by the town, became a revered figure in Eldenwood's history. Their sacrifice was immortalized in songs and stories, a testament to their bravery and the strength of Eldenwood's people. The town's protectors continued their vigilant watch, knowing that threats could arise from the shadows. The heir's legacy became a source of inspiration, reminding future generations of Eldenwood's resilience and the importance of unity in the face of darkness. Eldenwood, once marked by darkness, entered a new era of peace and prosperity. The town's residents rebuilt what was lost, their spirits unbroken by the trials they had faced. Eldenwood's protectors, guided by the lessons of the past, ensured that the town remained safe and thriving. The hare's sacrifice became a beacon of hope, lighting the way for a future where Eldenwood stood strong against any challenge. As the years passed, Eldenwood's tale became a legend told to children at bedtime. The town's enduring spirit, forged through sacrifice and unity, became a legacy that lived on in the hearts of its people. Eldenwood stood as a testament to the strength of community and the indomitable will to protect what was cherished. And so, the story of Eldenwood became a reminder to all that even in the face of the darkest shadows, the light of hope and bravery would always prevail. In the heart of the dense, untouched forest lay a secluded hunting cabin, a haven for those seeking solace in the wild. Jake Thornton, an experienced hunter, decided to embark on a solo expedition deep into the woods. The promise of a legendary buck rumored to roam the area fueled his excitement. As he navigated through the dense foliage, the woods seemed to come alive with an eerie presence. The wind whispered through the trees, carrying with it an unexplainable sense of foreboding. Undeterred, Jake pressed on, his instincts heightened by the thrill of the hunt. As night fell, Jake set up camp near an ancient oak tree. The air grew colder, and an unnatural stillness settled over the forest. An unsettling feeling crawled up his spine as he heard distant whispers that seemed to echo through the shadows. Unable to shake off the unease, Jake dismissed it as the product of an overactive imagination. Little did he know that the woods held secrets that defied rational explanation, a silent stalker observing his every move. In the pre-dawn light, Jake set out on the trail of the elusive buck. The forest was cloaked in mist, and a sense of isolation weighed on him. Deep within the thicket, he spotted a pair of haunting eyes observing him from the shadows. The eyes seemed to glow with an otherworldly intensity, and an unsettling feeling crept over Jake. He raised his rifle, but the eyes vanished before he could take aim. Uneasy, he brushed it off as a trick of the light, determined to focus on the hunt. The forest became a labyrinth of twisted paths as Jake followed the buck's elusive trail. Unseen eyes seemed to track his every step, and the whispers in the wind grew louder, forming indistinct voices that spoke of ancient curses and forgotten tales. As he closed in on his prey, Jake sensed a shift in the atmosphere. The woods seemed to conspire against him, the once familiar paths leading him deeper into the heart of the wilderness. He realized he was no longer the hunter but the hunted. In his pursuit of the legendary buck, Jake stumbled upon an ancient clearing bathed in an eerie glow. Strange symbols adorned the trees, and an overwhelming sense of malevolence hung in the air. The whispers escalated into anguished cries, echoing the tormented souls of the forest. A dark realization dawned on Jake. The legendary buck was no ordinary prey. It was a guardian, protecting the sacred grounds from intruders. The forest itself was a living entity, and Jake had unwittingly trespassed into its ritual grounds. As Jake attempted to retreat, the forest came alive with ethereal figures that emerged from the shadows. Ghostly apparitions danced around the ritual grounds, their movements synchronized with the haunting cries that reverberated through the trees. In a trance-like state, Jake witnessed the spirits enacting an ancient ritual, their spectral forms intertwining with the very essence of the forest. He understood that he had become a pawn in a supernatural game, and the consequences of his intrusion were far graver than he could comprehend. As the ritual reached its climax, the ghostly figures turned their attention to Jake. Their eyes, mirrors of the haunting ones he had seen earlier, bore into his soul. The forest, enraged by his intrusion, sought retribution for the disturbance of its sacred grounds. In a nightmarish sequence, the apparitions closed in, their ethereal hands reaching for him. Jake, paralyzed with fear, felt a force beyond his comprehension pulling him into the otherworldly dance. The haunting cries crescendoed, blending with his own desperate pleas. In an instant, The forest swallowed Jake whole. The ritual grounds vanished, and he found himself in a nightmarish realm where shadows danced and whispers became agonized screams. The once familiar trees now twisted into grotesque shapes, and the very air seemed to pulse with malevolence. Haunted by the ghostly figures, Jake wandered through the abyss, his mind unraveling with each passing moment. The line between reality and nightmare blurred as he descended into the darkest recesses of the forest's supernatural domain. In the abyssal realm, Jake was tormented by visions and apparitions that defied the laws of nature. The ghostly figures circled him, their eyes gleaming with an otherworldly hunger. He could hear their whispers intertwining with the dissonant cries of the tortured souls that echoed through the darkness. As he stumbled through the surreal landscape, Jake felt a profound isolation. The malevolent force that lurked within the abyss seemed to feed on his fear, distorting reality, and plunging him into a nightmare from which there was no escape. Amidst the shifting shadows, a spectral guardian emerged, a towering entity with antlers that reached towards the twisted sky. Its eyes, a reflection of the haunting gaze Jake had encountered earlier, held a silent judgment. It was the ancient force that protected the forest's sanctity. The guardian spoke without words, conveying a sense of cosmic authority. Jake understood that his trespass had disrupted the delicate balance of the supernatural forces within the woods. The guardian's gaze bore into his soul, awaiting judgment. In an attempt to plead for mercy, Jake offered a desperate bargain to the spectral guardian. He pledged to leave the sacred grounds, never to return, and to carry the weight of the otherworldly knowledge he had gained back into the realm of the living. The guardian's eyes flickered, as if considering the sincerity of Jake's plea. The forest around them seemed to hold its breath, awaiting the resolution of this otherworldly contract between the mortal and the supernatural. The guardian, after what felt like an eternity, nodded in silent agreement. In an instant, the abyssal realm shifted, and Jake found himself standing once again in the clearing where the ritual had taken place. The forest, no longer twisted into nightmarish forms, seemed to have regained its natural state. Dazed and disoriented, Jake stumbled out of the woods. The spectral guardian's eyes lingered in his mind, a constant reminder of the otherworldly forces that dwelled within the heart of the wilderness. Back in the mortal realm, Jake struggled to make sense of the haunting echoes that lingered in his mind. The whispers, the ghostly figures, and the spectral guardian's gaze haunted his every waking moment. He became an unwilling vessel for the supernatural knowledge bestowed upon him. Haunted by the ordeal, Jake withdrew from the world, tormented by the memories of the abyssal realm. The forest, once a place of solace, had become a haunting reminder of the thin veil between the natural and the supernatural. As the seasons changed, the forest retained the echoes of the supernatural encounter. Locals spoke in hushed tones about the haunting whispers that lingered in the woods. The legend of Jake Thornton's otherworldly journey became woven into the fabric of the small town, a cautionary tale for those who dared to tread too deep into the wilderness. The hunting cabin, once a refuge for those seeking solace in nature, stood as a silent witness to the thin line between the tangible and the ethereal. The legend of the spectral guardian and the haunting echoes of the abyssal realm became an inseparable part of the forest's legacy. In the quiet moments of the night, the forest whispered its secrets to those who dared to listen. The haunting echoes of the abyssal realm carried on the wind, a spectral reminder of the supernatural forces that lurked within the heart of the wilderness. The legend of Jake Thornton and the spectral guardian became etched into the folklore of the small town. The forest, with its ancient rituals and unseen guardians, continued to be a realm where the natural and the supernatural coexisted, forever bound by the endless whispers that echoed through the shadows. Years passed, but the haunting echoes of Jake Thornton's supernatural encounter refused to fade. The small town that bordered the forest carried the weight of its eerie legacy. Locals avoided the depths of the woods, fearing the spectral guardian and the unseen forces that lurked within. The hunting cabin, once a hub of camaraderie and shared stories, now stood in solemn silence, Its walls seemed to absorb the unbroken silence of the forest, as if holding onto the secrets that had unfolded within its proximity. Intrigued by the town's eerie reputation, paranormal investigator Amelia Harper arrived, drawn by the tales of the haunted forest and the spectral guardian. Armed with an array of supernatural detecting equipment, Amelia sought to unravel the mysteries that clung to the woods. As she delved into the history of the small town, Amelia uncovered the legend of Jake Thornton and the spectral guardian. Determined to document the supernatural forces at play, she set her sights on the haunted cabin and the heart of the forest. As Amelia ventured deeper into the woods, the forest seemed to come alive with the resurfacing whispers that had haunted Jake Thornton. Unseen eyes observed her every move, and the atmosphere grew increasingly charged with an otherworldly energy. Amelia's equipment registered anomalous readings, capturing glimpses of spectral figures that flickered in and out of existence. Undeterred, she pressed on, driven by a relentless curiosity to uncover the truth that lay hidden within the shadows. Amelia reached the ancient clearing where the spectral guardian had judged Jake Thornton. The air grew thick with anticipation as the haunting eyes of the guardian appeared, fixating on the intruder who dared to trespass on sacred ground once again. The guardian's silent warning echoed through Amelia's mind, a telepathic communication that conveyed the ancient force's displeasure. But the investigator, fueled by determination, pressed on, her quest for answers overriding the instinctual fear that gripped her. As Amelia delved deeper into her investigation, she uncovered the origins of the spectral guardian and the supernatural forces that permeated the forest. The ancient rituals, the curses, and the thin veil between dimensions revealed a tapestry of the extraordinary. The haunting echoes that had plagued Jake Thornton were laid bare, each whisper unraveling a fragment of the forest's enigmatic history. Amelia realized that the spectral guardian was not a malevolent force, but a guardian of the delicate balance between the natural and the supernatural. In a moment of revelation, the spectral guardian communicated with Amelia, sharing the untold stories of the forest and its role as a nexus of supernatural energies. It spoke of the importance of preserving the delicate equilibrium and the consequences that befell those who sought to disturb it. Amelia, humbled by the guardian's wisdom, understood the significance of her findings. The forest, with its haunting echoes and spectral guardians, was a realm that defied conventional understanding, a place where the natural and the supernatural coexisted in a delicate dance. As Amelia concluded her investigation, she made a solemn pledge to respect the sanctity of the forest and its spectral guardian. The haunting echoes would remain, a testament to the mysterious forces that dwelled within the heart of the wilderness. The investigator left the small town, carrying with her the knowledge of the supernatural forces that lingered within the woods. The legend of Jake Thornton, the spectral guardian, and the haunting echoes would endure, etching the forest's enigmatic legacy into the fabric of the town's folklore. The forest, unchanged by the passage of time, continued to whisper its secrets to those who ventured into its depths. The haunting echoes of the abyssal realm and the spectral guardian's judgment persisted, an eternal reminder of the supernatural forces that defied explanation. The small town, burdened by the weight of its eerie legacy, learned to coexist with the mysteries that dwelled within the heart of the woods. The legend of the spectral guardian and the unbroken silence of the forest became an inseparable part of the town's identity, forever bound by the eternal whispers that echoed through the shadows. Despite the solemn vows made by those who encountered the forest's mysteries, an unsettling presence began to stir within the woods. The guardian, once a silent observer, sensed a disturbance in the delicate balance that had been upheld for centuries. The ancient rituals, disturbed by the footsteps of curious intruders, began to resonate with a dark energy. The whispers that once spoke of forgotten tales turned into ominous warnings, foretelling a looming darkness that threatened to awaken from its slumber. As the town settled into an uneasy peace, the nights grew longer, and a cursed moon cast an eerie glow over the forest. The spectral guardian, attuned to the celestial shifts, felt the encroaching darkness intensify. Unseen forces began to gather in the shadows, drawn to the town by an irresistible malevolence. The haunting echoes that had become a part of the folklore now carried a sense of urgency, as if the supernatural forces within the forest were preparing for a battle against an unseen adversary. The townspeople, unaware of the impending threat, found themselves haunted by nightmares that blurred the line between reality and the supernatural. Sleepless nights became the norm as whispers echoed through their minds, conveying a sense of impending doom. Amelia Harper, the paranormal investigator who had once delved into the secrets of the forest, received a cryptic message in her dreams. The Guardian, reaching out across dimensions, warned her of the awakening darkness and the need to confront the malevolent forces that sought to breach the veil. Amelia, compelled by a sense of responsibility, returned to the small town. The spectral Guardian, once a stoic protector, revealed the existence of an ancient force that sought to exploit the supernatural energies within the forest for its own nefarious purposes. An unholy alliance between the malevolent force and the curses embedded in the ancient rituals threatened to tip the balance in favor of darkness. The Guardian implored Amelia to unite with those who once dared to tread into the supernatural realm and stand against the impending threat. As night fell, a group of individuals, each touched by the haunting echoes of the forest, converged on the small town. Jake Thornton, forever marked by the spectral Guardian's judgment, joined forces with others who had encountered the supernatural forces within the woods. The group, guided by Amelia and the spectral Guardian's wisdom, prepared for the impending storm. The cursed moon hung low in the sky, casting an ominous pallor over the forest as the malevolent forces gathered, ready to breach the veil that separated the natural from the supernatural. In the heart of the woods, the final confrontation unfolded. The group faced an onslaught of malevolent entities that emerged from the shadows, drawn by the curses embedded in the ancient rituals. The haunting echoes intensified, creating a cacophony of spectral voices that reverberated through the trees. Amelia, armed with the knowledge gained from her previous encounter, led the group in a battle against the malevolent forces. The Guardian, its eyes ablaze with determination, stood alongside the defenders, ready to protect the forest's sanctity. The battle raged on, and the forest became a battleground between the defenders and the malevolent forces. The cursed moon reached its zenith, casting an unholy glow over the supernatural skirmish. Despite the overwhelming darkness, the defenders held their ground. The Guardian, its antlers aglow with an ethereal light, channeled the ancient energies embedded within the forest. The haunting echoes, once a source of fear, now resonated with a power that defied the malevolent forces. In a climactic moment, the Guardian unleashed a surge of supernatural energy that shattered the malevolent forces. The curses embedded in the ancient rituals were dispelled, and the forest's sanctity was restored. The cursed moon faded from the sky, and a serene calm settled over the woods. The haunting echoes transformed into a chorus of gratitude, as if the forest itself expressed appreciation for the defenders who had stood against the encroaching darkness. With the malevolent forces banished and the supernatural energies at rest, the small town and its forest reclaimed a semblance of tranquility. The spectral Guardian, its eyes now filled with a sense of gratitude, returned to its stoic vigil, ensuring the delicate balance endured. The defenders, marked by their encounters with the supernatural, carried the legacy of the haunting echoes with them. The small town became a testament to the resilience of the natural and the supernatural, forever bound by the enduring power of those who dared to confront the mysteries that dwelled within the heart of the woods.